Good. So for today, our special speaker is Desiree from Drunk Chicken Cigars. So Desiree, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
Doing well. I remember I first heard about your brand because I was working on an app and people were talking about drunk chicken, and I'm like, what is that? I've never heard of this. And then I found your website, and I was never able to forget these cigars because of the unique name and packaging. So that's
Yeah,
really cute. The little drunk chicken and the hen living the dream.
thank you. The name does stick in your head. It's hard to get rid of.
Yeah. I love it. And I actually wanted to ask you some more stuff about your brand today. My first question is actually your personal story. So I wanted to know, what is your personal story and what inspired you to join the tobacco industry?
I joined by accident.
So many people I ask, they always tell me I kind of stumbled in here, and I'm like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, stumbled in here. I enjoyed smoking cigars, and my boyfriend and I, well, boyfriend at the time now, fiance, we smoked together. And when you're smoking 2 to 3 or 4 a day each, it becomes expensive habit. So when we were going to lounges and stuff, when we go on vacation in Florida, I thought I was going to a lounge. I looked up all the lounges in the area, and I stumbled upon a storefront rolling shop, and they were super, super cool, super inviting. They told me about all their tobacco they had, and how they can roll the best cigars. And I'm kind of a nerd geek about things. So at the time, I was also investigating, trying to figure out my own palate, what I liked. So I had this extensive spreadsheet with wrapper binder fills of all the cigars that I've smoked, and took little notes, so and looked at commonalities of the cigars I like to see what were the mixes. And so when he told me, I said, "Oh, that's so great! Can you roll me this combination?" So he did, and we went back to the hotel, and it was fantastic. So
I love that.
yeah, so we went back the next day, and I was like, could you roll me 200, and could I get a little bit better pricing? And he said, yeah, I'll give you better pricing. So I said, I'm gonna call you up, and when I get home, and I'm gonna tell you what blends I want and everything. So I did, and I called him up. I said, but I want 500 cigars. When I got home, I was like so excited. He says, okay. So I gave him my blends, and he sent me like 40, 50 cigars for free. And I was smoking these cigars and taking notes and seeing which ones I like. And I sent them, called them up and said, okay, these are the ones I like. And he put down the blends on the wrapper, the cellophane for me. And so I said, and these are the ones were okay, but maybe could you do a little bit different on some of them? So he was like, I didn't charge you. I was like, look, I'll pay for them. You didn't have to give them to me. So he sent me about probably 2 or 3 more iterations of 40 or 50 cigars, and I came up with those 5 blends. But those 5 blends that we have now were just for me and my boyfriend. That was just not to sell or anything. It's just so that we have cheaper cigars. That
Wow.
go-to cigars. So we started to smoke the cigars. It was before the pandemic. We go to the lounges, and your friends are there. You socialize, and you hand them a cigar. Hey, try this out. It's one of my cigars. And they go, "Oh, I love these cigars. You should sell them." So I was like, okay, you hear it so much. I had a friend who actually owned a lounge, and I gave it to him. I asked him, would he smoke it? And Bobby at Affilions in Maryland. So I have to give him a shout out, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so he says, absolutely. And he wanted to have it as his house cigar. I was like, hold up. If I'm going to do this, for as a business. So, and that's kind of how it started. He gave me some pointers on what I needed to do, like change the band. They were just little pictures on the band to begin with, and make it glossy. He said, "Come on, let's look in the humidor and see, what I people shop with their eyes. Let me show you." So I went home and designed the bands and started calling people, some lounges and stuff like that, and asking them who does their house bands. And I found a nice band company and started working with them, and kind of rest is history.
That's amazing. That's like one of the coolest intro to the industry stories I've ever heard,
Yeah,
because you didn't even come in here like, hey, I'm working with this expert blender at this like well-known factory. You didn't buy your way in. It's just like, hey, I kind of got these cigars for myself. Didn't know that I would be requesting X amount and that they would turn out awesome and that all these people would be like, hey, sell this. And I love that you gave them a shout out, but you're like, oh, a shout out, but that's not your house blend. That's gonna be my cigar.
yeah. I mean, seriously, if it wasn't for him, helping me out, saying, "Yeah, I love it, and I will be your first customer," I would not be where I am. I actually took a trip a couple weeks later to Alabama for my 9 to 5, and went to a lounge there, a cigar room. And Don, he was absolutely amazing. And I gave him some sticks, and he said, "Oh, I love these sticks," and I would buy them too. But again, the same thing, change the band. So I already, 2 times people tell me to change the band. I need to change the band.
And
So
that's cool. What band did you have on before?
just a paper band with picture of my chickens. So it was nothing.
I love that. My next question was actually gonna be, how did the name Drunk Chicken come to be?
So I have a chicken farm, a small little chicken farm. I don't sell any chickens or eggs or anything. It's just one of those things that I'm learning to eat healthier, lot less, pesticides and stuff. So I have a huge garden, some chickens for the eggs. And I built this she shed. It's an outside bar, but I call it she shed, although he goes, no, it's a bar.
I like she said better too.
Me too. And my girlfriends were over, and we were drinking, eating crabs in the she shed. And the chickens are free range, especially in the summertime. And the chickens were just walking around, stumbling all over everything, fighting with each other, and the things chickens do. And I said, okay, I got to name this she shed here. And they said, you should name it the Drunk Chicken. Look at your chickens over there being drunk. And we just started laughing, but it was just such a funny joke. The next day or two, I went and bought this plaque that says, "Welcome to the Drunk Chicken," where whiskey, wine, and cigars are welcome, and we're living the dream. And so that plaque has been up in the she shed since about 2017 or 18. And so when somebody asked me, what are you going to name the cigar company? It just came natural, the Drunk Chicken.
I love that. No, that is way cool. I always wondered, like, what is drunk chicken? What does it mean? And it makes so much sense now. If your chickens are out there fighting and acting drunk and being weird, you're like, okay, the Drunk Chicken bar, the Drunk Chicken she shed. And of course
Yeah.
that transfers over to the cigars, and it's a name that's super unforgettable.
My friends used to say, "What are you doing tonight?" I said, "I'm hanging out the Drunk Chicken. You come on over." So even my friends and family knew that meant, hey, come on over, hang out in the backyard. So it stuck. So
No, that's such a cool name, honestly. So congrats on that. That's definitely unforgettable.
thank you.
And then I also wanted to ask you regarding the names of the chickens. So I know that your lines are like Mother Clucker, Fat Hen. So how did you come up with those? Of course, it's the chickens, but any chicken in particular? Do you have like
Well,
one favorite chicken?
well, the fat hen is Big Shirley. I'll either call her Big Shirley or that fat hen. Look at that fat hen over there. So that is actually a picture of her. I did cartoon it a little bit. And all the pictures of the that are on the cigars are one of the chickens on the farm.
That is amazing. Oh my
Cartoon
gosh.
a little bit. And so the Mother Clucker is Midnight, and he was our first rooster, but he used to fight me all the time. I can never go out there and feed him. He always wanted to fight me, and so I have kids, and so I wouldn't want to cuss up that Mother Clucker out there with again, that Mother Clucker. So
Oh my goodness, I understand now.
the kids started calling it the Midnight. So are you afraid of that Mother Clucker? I was like, you cannot say that. It's
Mother clucker.
midnight, so it kind of stuck. So it just everything about the brand is my life. The life we live, we're living the dream. We're having sweet dreams. We have a fat hen. Homicidal hen is just a name that we came up with. That would be the first one that we actually blended to sell. But the other ones were not blended to sell.
They just ended up being that good.
Yeah.
I like that. And I wanted to ask you as well, what was the first released Drunk Chicken line and what inspired it?
All 5 of them were released together
At the same time?
at
Oh
the
my
same
gosh,
time.
Desiree.
Yeah,
I
they
love
were
that
all.
because it's such like an untraditional story and you're killing it. Like you're doing such a good job. So it's like, that's amazing.
I did get advice from several shops to just release one, and but I had advice from another 2 shops that said if you only release one, you're only gonna have one face, and you're gonna get lost in the humidor. No one's gonna see you. They're gonna say AJ, Caldwell, and you're gonna be somewhere in the middle, and they're gonna skip right over you. So you have to have at least 3 to 5 facings on every shelf. So that's why I decided to release it, because one of the things about our line of cigar, the original 5, is that you go from bold, 3 mediums, and a mild. Every single one of them have a very distinct flavor profile. So we say any time of the day cigar for anybody. This is the cigar that just about anybody can find something that they like about it.
I like that. And of course, since you released all the blends, everybody can pick. It's not like they have to wait around or ask you when are you going to tweak this or that. So you said that you came to Florida to a lounge, correct? And that's where you started you met the roller. So, okay, if you released them all at the same time, what was the first blend that you worked with them? The first one that you told him, hey, can you do this?
The Drunk Chicken Original, the DCO. Yeah, it was really inspired by Rico, Dirty Rico. That's what we call Dirty Rico's blend. He likes bolder cigars. And so I like the flavor. It's just a little too strong for me, the full body. So when it goes down to Robusto, he likes the Gordo 6x60s. Robusto and the Lancero in that is amazing.
I love Lanceros too. It's so rare.
Yeah.
I feel like these days it's hard to find people that like Lanceros. They're like, I'm over them. Like how?
So the Lancero in that I smoke all the time. It's almost like one of my go-tos right now. But that was the first one, and it was amazing to me to see how the flavor profile changed with the different sizes. So but it's the same tobacco, same combination ratio. But when you go to the 6x60, you're getting much more of that Ligero than when you're down to a Lancero. So.
Indeed. All right, Desiree, no, that sounds super cool. I'm like blown away by this story. I love it so far. And I wanted to ask you, how big is the Drunk Chicken team?
Well, we're growing.
Of course. I mean, how could you not?
Besides myself and Rico, we had, and he's that, you remember Wilson on, what was the name of that show? And
yes.
Field Defense like this, and the only thing you saw
was, okay, yes.
Yeah, that's Rico. He's always like there in the background.
Oh my gosh. Was that like Boy Meets World or no? Because I remember they had like the neighbor that
Taylor.
Was like, girl, I don't know that show.
Myself. Yeah, one of those older ones where the guys in the background, they never show their face. That always around, but never in the background, in my ear talking, but you never see his face. Besides myself and Rico, we have our first ambassador, Eric Story. And we picked up a new one last week, Armando, and I'm going to screw up his last name. I'm not even going, Armando G, because I'm not even going to attempt to say it. So
no, don't worry. But congratulations, you got 2 brand ambassadors.
Yes, 2 brand ambassadors. You'll start seeing more about him. He actually just created his Instagram page yesterday. And so we started tagging him this morning. So we're looking forward and welcoming him to the team. So he's an amazing person. So.
Yeah, big welcome to Armando.
Yeah. So
Alrighty, let's see. So, okay, you had told me that you released them off. However, because you said there's something for everybody in that lineup, but which drunk chicken cigar do you recommend for a first time drunk chicken smoker? If it was just one,
just one.
and
Well,
if it's someone that doesn't know much, they're like, I don't really smoke much. What should I try?
so it depends. If they're not really smoking much, the first question I would ask them is, when you do smoke, do you like it with a flavor attached to it? And, or you just, you don't like flavors. So if they want a flavored cigar, I would definitely do the Sweet Dream because of the strong cocoa, vanilla, maple syrup flavors that it has. But if they say, no, I don't like the sweet ones, they really upset my stomach or whatever it is, I would introduce them to Living the Dream because of that Dominican tobacco is really smooth, light, and great smoke. So
That's really cool. Living the dream.
ask questions first before I recommend.
Yeah, of course, you have to. It's just difficult with some people when they're like, well, I don't know what I like. I'm like, do you like the mild or medium? I don't know. It's like, how do I recommend a cigar then? But I guess as long as you know one that you have that is like super solid and that won't go wrong, especially with Dominican tobacco, that's not going to be too spicy or too overwhelming for the first time smoker. It's always a good match.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I wanted to ask you as well, what has your experience been like being non-Hispanic in this industry? Because you know that this industry is just like all the words are in Spanish, like Robusto, Toro, everyone is Hispanic, the rollers, the factory owners, like store owners. So how has your experience been like not being Hispanic?
I'm not Hispanic?
Are you Hispanic? I
No,
didn't
I'm
know
not. I'm
that.
not.
No, but I have to ask because sometimes I remember I was talking to someone and they're in Europe and they had said, okay, well, we actually had to name our cigar this because people in Europe couldn't pronounce these like specific Spanish words. So I was like, oh, that's crazy, but it's true. Like sometimes you have to like, figure it out. Like,
It's a learning experience for me, not being Hispanic and not knowing Spanish. I mean, I am such a novice. I don't even want to try to attempt. That's why I didn't try to attempt.
his last name.
But I am challenging myself to learn Spanish. So hopefully this time next year I can at least say hola and como está a little bit better than I do right now.
Yeah, no, and maybe that would help even if you wanted to like change up factories or something, like go over to the DR or like, if you get that big that you start your own factory and start somewhere else to be like, you need to speak that Spanish.
Well, that's something I don't see in my future. What my goal is to have my own factory, but I do want to have it here in the U.S. Like it is now. So I know that the cost may be a little different, a little bit more expensive for us
Yeah.
roll. But when I started doing research about doing cigars overseas, while it seems cheaper, you still have your import costs and things of that nature that will almost balance out. So if I have to have a little bit more expensive cigar, I'd rather have it here in the U.S. I want to be able to employ U.S. citizen, not well, U.S. People here, and I
Yeah,
want to be able to grow our economy as much as possible.
of course. And that's so admirable too, especially now to just like give jobs to people in this country so that especially now with the unemployment rates after Corona.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I just want to be able to help grow America and employ people here. But you never know because I have been researching. I want to make sure that I keep quality cigars. And I've been working with other rollers and seeing what's out there, making sure that what I offer is quality. What I offer is what's the next best thing. Looking at new leaves, looking at other leaves that are out there on the market and what. So I'm just all over the map these days.
Of course. And that's, I mean, especially with the pandemic that's still going on, there is an advantage to having your cigars rolled in the US, being that you won't experience as much issues or as many issues kind of trying to transport the cigars into the US. Because I remember that once the pandemic was kind of slowing down, people were still, you know, having issues bringing in their boxes from Nicaragua, for example. And we're like, there's a shortage of broadleaf, and all these people are still trying to like get their boxes over. So it was a messy situation.
Trust me, I experienced that too. Right now, the homicidal hen is with broadleaf, and I can't get quality broadleaf right now. So while I expected to release it in February, I have 14 boxes, and I cannot put those on sale like that. So the homicidal hen is at the moment an event cigar. It may stay that way, but it was not meant to be that way. So I just go with the flow as things happen. I just, okay, well,
that's the only thing you can do really right now.
I'm not going to
because
let it
if you
knock me
put
down.
those 14 boxes out, then people might love them, and then you're gonna make a lot of people angry when you can't, supply. So better to just keep that as an event only, and keep it rolling until you can find that broadleaf.
Exactly. Well, we every week we're told that we're going to get some more. Every week we're told that it's coming. So when it does come, we already know that we're going to roll those first. Those are going to be our immediate need, the first priority. And so as soon as they come, and I still may keep it as an event cigar because right now, I don't want to, if I'm unable to get more broadleaf after this, I don't want to have a supply and demand issue.
Of course, because then that would set you back and all that.
Yeah.
You're better off with the event only. That's a very, very smart decision, actually.
Yeah, so.
Let me see. I know that, okay, so you are a veteran, correct?
No, I am.
No?
No, my partner Rico is a veteran.
Oh, no wonder, because I had read that on your website. I was like, wait, is that why she's saying, you want to keep making them here in America? I'm like, I'm connecting some things here, because my next question to you was, how does it feel to be one of the only minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned cigar businesses out there? And what can you say to inspire other minority and women-owned businesses?
Be flexible. Don't let things, if something feels like it's standing in your way and you're trying to go in a straight line, go around. Don't let the industry standard be your standard. Nothing about the industry standard is what I reflect. So, and just keep your head up, stay positive, and like with the broadleaf, okay, I expected to release it. It's not happening. Do something different. So just
be flexible, go with the flow.
Go with the flow, and the positive attitude goes a long way. I have my bad days, but the positive attitude really goes a long way.
Of course, and I think especially being a woman in the industry, I mean, I don't have my own brand, but still working there, I feel like sometimes there's a lot of days where you just feel very discouraged because people might undermine you. And they might think you don't know what you're talking about. And especially you right now that you have your own brand, that it's doing so well. You're like, what do you mean? I used to smoke 4 to 5 cigars a day, just like you. I got to find out what blends work. I have my own cigars. I know what I'm talking about. And there will be people that might just speak to Rico instead. And you're like, what? Talk to me.
Oh, it happens all the time. And he just looks at him and points and says,
yep.
talk to her. But yeah, it happens all the time. And it doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, you still have to come talk to me.
Yep.
Go talk to him. And
it's a learning experience. It is kind of rewarding when someone's like, wow, you really do know your stuff. You're like, aha, you didn't think I did, but I do. Okay, so then your tips are to be flexible, and especially that's a good one. And what about another tip for growing your cigar brand and your following?
For me, quality matters. So yes, I did have issues when we first started with some things. And when I was presented with the issues, I made sure that I took note in not only make sure that my customers were satisfied figure out how to satisfy the customer, but also relaying that back, having meetings with the rollers, having meetings with what's going on and why is this happening? How can we do better? And so we had to make some adjustments on as we move forward. So anything that when you're doing it, put yourself out there for the criticism and be able to make adjustments when you need to. So that flexibility really matters.
Flexibility and having a good attitude, going, that's what really goes the extra miles.
Yeah, going the extra mile, hearing what people have to say and making sure that you are able to hear the criticism without like trying to lash out or making you like somebody's trying to make you feel bad. Take it and learn from it and grow.
Yeah, just like, for example, when they told you to change the band, you weren't going to be like, why? I like this one. You're like, nope, I'm just going to change it because if two people have already told me, then I don't want a third person to tell me. Here we go.
Yeah, and that helped actually grow the company because the gentleman were right. People go in the humidor, the eye-catching things is what they stop and they look at, they read, they are interested in. Without that, then more than half of people would just walk right past it. So to take the information,
the leap of faith,
absorb it, and go from there.
Yeah, of course. And kind of like it is true. Like Drunk Chicken is so unforgettable, and just you need to have, especially as a new brand, something. A cool name, a cool band, something to stand out, because so many smokers these days will go to a humidor and they're just going to pick out the same names that they've heard over and over and over and over again. And it's like, hey, please try something new. Here's this. But some names maybe aren't as eye-catching or the bands as well. So you have to take those risks for sure.
Yeah, you do. And that's a good point. You have to be able to take risk. So yeah, take risk, and when you're out there, put yourself out there.
And network, of course.
Of course, yes, network. Lots of networking. Could not do it without the teaming arrangements that we put forth. While I'm telling you, the Drunk Chicken Cigar team is Eric and Armando, but there's definitely somebody that does our Instagram now. Josh, he does it, and we have teaming arrangements out there. So everything is a group effort.
I like that, and it is growing. A bigger group. So what, other than a bigger group, a bigger Drunk Chicken group, what else do you hope to see more of in 2021 in the industry?
I would like to see more females. I would like to see more minorities. And not just that they're not out there, but I would like to see that it's being accepted as a norm. That, it's not when I come in there, oh, are you the rep?
Oh no, you're like, I'm the owner.
Yeah, so be open to that. Females know just as much as the males do when it comes to cigars and when it comes to what they like in their palate. Don't just assume, oh, you don't know, here, try this one because I know better than you.
That's true. No, for 2021, I really do hope that we see the same, and just like more inclusivity in general, like having women in the industry, having that accepted as a norm, having more people in general, having more people creating cigars here in the US as well.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
That would be really cool to start jobs out here,
Yeah, there are a lot of great rollers out there, and just research them and see if you can come up with partnering agreements. So
that's a good tip as well. Okay, do you plan on doing any special releases? Boy, this one you told me, or event only cigars or limited productions? I know you said Homicidal Hand was event only for now. Do you plan to do anything else, event only or limited production or a special release?
Well, the Underground out in Texas asked me to do a cigar just for them. So I created a cigar, Extreme Smoke, EGG Stream.
I love it. Oh my God. How else could it be spelled? That's the only way with Drunk Chicken.
And that's their event cigar. They're having an event in early March. And so they will have that there. It will be the first time I've ever done any exclusive cigar. So I am looking forward to getting feedback. I hope they love it as much as I do. So
And I'm sure they will, or at least I
Totally
really do hope
unique
so too.
blend.
So, my last question is, what is Drunk Chicken's promise to its customers?
I promise to my customers that you'll have a good, enjoying smoking experience. If you don't, reach out to me, let me know, because I'm willing to make sure that you have customer satisfaction. Um, it's any time of the day cigar, so I'm sure you'll find something that you like and enjoy.
I love it. That just brings me back to releasing those 5 cigars at once. Nobody can complain. You don't have this. Well, no, I have this other one. Or have you tried this? Maybe that one didn't work for you. And having that
Yeah.
open door policy. Come talk to me before you bash on the cigars, please.
Yeah, come talk to me because I mean, yeah, these are 100% rolled by hand, and people have bad days. Things happen, shipping back and forth, storage. I don't know, everything, all the situations that are going to happen. But when they happen, and if you're having one of those bad experiences, come talk to me, and let's see how we can make it better for you. And I've done that. So one of the first questions I ask is, what was your experience? Why did that, do you have a picture? Show me what happened. Okay, great. Well, let me work with you.
That's a great way to be. I love all the tips that you shared with us today, being flexible, having a good attitude, listening to your customers, and providing excellent customer service. These are just some of the things that have made your brand great and that are allowing your brand to grow. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys have been excellent too. I love Neptune Cigars. I love seeing when you put it out on the website. I started searching for it. I was like, oh, look, they took pictures of the boxes. Oh, this is so cute.
Yes, of course. No, we were super excited. I think it was during last summer. We were looking for a couple new brands to bring in because, I mean, we do carry a lot of the big names, but we also have a growing boutique selection as well. And we were like, any smaller brands that maybe get overlooked or are new, we definitely want to bring them in and show them some love and have our customers try something new. And in fact, we're including some of your cigars in our sampler, the Smoke With Us sampler that we have going on. So a lot of customers are going to be trying your cigars soon.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm really excited. And thank you for your support and allowing me to be part of your Neptune family.
Of course. No, we're very happy to have you. And once again, congratulations. And thank you so much, Desiree, for being here with us today and telling us more about your brand. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I hope to hear more from you in the future, especially when you get more than 2 reps, which I know you will.
Hopefully, in the next 3 or 4 months, I'll be looking.
Girl, that's right there.
Yeah, was hoping to get 2 this last time. It just panned out to Armando, but that's fine. Things happen for a reason when they're supposed to. So, when the next opportunity comes about, I'm hoping to be able to pick up a couple more reps. So if you're out there looking for a rep job, please contact me.
You heard it here. All right, Desiree, thank you so much for joining us and best of luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.